What's going on? Welcome to Burning Down the Far Hill Week 10 edition. I am the commissioner, or the owner that's trying to average 140 points for the remainder of the year, starting in Week 7 or 8. But so we're gonna kind of go through things here. I've got a trophy update, and we'll go through the standings as we're getting down to the end here. I can't remember, the trading deadline's got to be coming up. I did not do my due diligence to look to see when that is. I think it's week 11, but it might have already passed. I don't know. Look. But anywho, week 9 recaps. Here we go. John Boy Special People, because he submitted a lineup, defeats score 140, 167 to 126. Pat Mahomes 45 points. I scored 126 this week. I am just above the pace to kind of average 140 the rest of the year. I believe I am at 142, I think it was, 41. So I'm just above the pace. So 4 weeks ago, like I said, I'm not worried about my opponents, but I do have 3 tough opponents, or high win opponents this week. I'm going to see if I can steal a win from one of those. I'm not going to win any of those, but if I could just disrupt one of those 3 in these next 3 weeks, personal win for me. So, all those 3 people, John, Roger, and Mark, don't be the person that loses to me now. Don't be that person now, because all I'm trying to do is score 140 points, and your team should score that without thinking about it, especially with bye weeks are starting to wrap up here. Anywho, Fake News defeats Bitchmaker 197 to 151. Mr. Goff 48 points to lead Jer. Jer has ripped off. Jer's done what I did the opposite. He's ripped off 6 straight. I've lost 6 straight. So he took it to that 1 and 2 point, and then he went the right way, and I went the wrong way. So Jer's won 6 in a row. El Resistencia gets in the win column, defeats Imperi Empire. Has he settled on a team name? 135 to 126. Christian McCaffrey 49 points to lead Garen, to make it very much harder for me not to be the number 1 seed or number 1 pick next year. I think Jim is the person who I'm now chasing to be the number 1 spot, since he's the only other person that's got less than 3 wins. Jim beat me, so he's got a half game edge up there with I think 4 weeks to go. So we're tracking that race, I guess. I believe if Jim gets the 3 wins, he's good. I mean, even I think with him at 2, and with looking at my schedule, I think he's good. I think I've got the number 1 pick locked up next year. And P.S., just between me and you, Mr. John Hansen, I hope you're enjoying the Alvin Kamara sweepstakes. That's going to be my pick next year. Number 1. I'm telling you guys now, it's week freaking 10, all the way to next year. Number 1 pick, Alvin Kamara. Telling you now, there it is. I've already now put it out there. You guys can just put it in the bank, because John can't hold him, and unless he does something crazy by trading him, like why would he do that? Because he's trying to win a championship, right? So there's my number 1 pick next year, Alvin Kamara. Sinister Guy from the Internet defeats Steel Curtain 192 to 186. Matt Ryan 45 points. Roger has lost 2 in a row. Is this his late season swoon that he does? We'll see. Irish Cop defeats Davis Dynasty 162 to 117. The aforementioned Alvin Kamara with 39 points. Count the days, John. Just count the days, because he's coming to me starting in 2019. Fat Bastard defeats Bad Dog 136 to 94. Josh Gordon 41 points for Chris. Jer wins the pick'em for the 3rd straight week, despite he had a 0 in there, so you'd think he'd be gaining ground for the season overall. I've actually taken that over, but Jer with that 0 that he had, ouch. And in the Survivor pool, Roger picks up a loss this week. So the perfect people is Chris, myself, Jim, and Mark. Roger, John Hansen, and Jer all have 1 losses. I believe this one's going to go to the end, because all of us are pretty active in this. So there's that. Our standings recap. I'm not going to go over the whole thing, because we all know I'm going to get the number 1 pick, and Garen's ahead of me and the homeboys. But the race between Jer and Roger and the homeboys. Jer's got the gap widened to 2 games with 4 games to go. I don't know their head-to-head. I'll start breaking these things down a little bit more intently, probably starting next week. In the away boys, John and Thomas are at a deadlock at 7-2. I don't know if they play anymore. I don't know their head-to-head series. Once again, I'll start looking into this starting next week. And in the Outlanders division, everybody loses. And Mark's still 2 games up on the division. So there's that. Crap. I didn't fill out my upcoming matchup stuff intently. So you're going to get the short version. 1-8, score 140 is at 7-2 Irish Cop. 7-2 Fake News is at 4-5 Davis Dynasty. Fake News. 3-6 El Resistant C is at 3-6 Bad Dog. If Garen wins, he will take the Irvin Cup for the year. If my dad wins, it's the ugly 1-1-1, 1-1, 1-1, 1-1 split. Just because I beat my dad. It's my 1 win. Shouldn't have won that game. So there's that. We'll say I'm going to go with my dad on this one because he got a good team. 5-4 Steel Curtain at 3-6 Fat Bastard. Roger. 6-3 John Boy Special People at 2-7 Imperi Empire. Hauser. And 7-2 Sinister Guy from the Internet is at the 6-3 Bitchmaker Redo. It's too close to tell. These guys are both good, so I won't make a pick. Ha! Alright, so updating the trophy. I have done the first wave of sanding. So here it is. I've got it, the hard sand done. I was going to do the more fine sanding either today or somewhere this week. I'm not going to put myself to a date. But here we go. So what happens from here is we get the rest of the sanding done. I've got to go get some Sprite cans. I'm going to just kind of, before I paint them in, before they even get to that, I'm going to stain this. I think I picked out a nice dark stain for this. And then once I get stains, dries, we'll get some Sprite cans, the football on top, and then I'll start working on getting all the plaques. Any donations that you want to get to help me get this done, like, if someone's got a plaque guy, to get all the plaques engraved, because as of this moment in time, there's 22 plaques I need, and that updates another story. I did the math on what season we're actually in, and this is actually the 23rd season of the league, just for going forward in our 25th season and all that stuff. The 25th season is actually the 2020 season. So it's just 2 years away. So we'll have this year 18, 19 is 24, and then 2020 is their 25th season and the Vegas thing and all that. So it sucks a year off. Once I wrote down all the champions, I realized, oh yeah, I was a year ahead. So there's that. Other than that, that's all I got for this week. So a little bit more detail to the playoff picture starting next week. We'll have 3 weeks to go at that point, and we'll go from there. So other than that, deuces. I'm out. Hungry.